Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, a quick thing here, not psyop. I don't even realize I could begin to say that. I'll probably doing a stream next week at some point. All right. If all things goes out as planned here, I should be doing one next week, before the utmost of the doom. So hopefully we have that there. But right now, we're going to be going over a little bit things. Just bit off of weeds here, not trailing with Carmelo Anthony or whatever, because there's no news really reporting about that. But this is a similar situation here. We have pretty much a 16-year-old student that was pretty much stabbed and with life-threatening injuries because in typical fights, what you do is that you whip out a knife and stab people because that's just what you do in a normal high school fight. It seems to be a ongoing thing here. So without further ado, we're going to get into this. We have this here from the New York Post saying a 16-year-old stabbed by a fellow student at West Potomac High School in Virginia, hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. Goes on to say here, a 16-year-old boy was hospitalized with life-threatening injuries after he was stabbed by a classmate at a Northern Virginia high school, according to local officials. The student was stabbed by a 15-year-old boy when three students go into a fight inside West Potomac High School in Fairfax County at about 9:40 a.m. Wednesday. According to Fairfax County Police Department, the 16-year-old student was rushed to a local hospital with critical injuries, but is now stable and recovering, which Police Chief Devin Davis told reporters was a sigh of relief for the entire community. The assailant, who has not been identified, was taken into custody and has been charged with malicious wounding. Police said a knife was recovered at the scene. There was no outstanding suspects in the isolated incident. Cops said the third student was being questioned by police, but Davis does not anticipate he will be charged with a crime, which is wild. But okay, it says disturbing footage circulating among the student body shows that students brawling in the hallway, according to NBC Washington. Another image reported shows students and adults hovering over a teenager bleeding on the floor. The stabber and the victim were known to each other, cops said. Well, obviously, in most scenarios, this probably would be the case. But, it's sad. The stabber is 15, but we're working through the circumstances of his involvement and the involvement of others. Davis told reporters outside the high school Wednesday afternoon the school remained open and students were back in classes after the stabbing, according to Michelle Reed, superintendent of Fairfax County Public Schools. While there's a sense of obviously of shock that would happen, I'm very proud of the response of our staff in this incident. She said, thanking the first responders who may have saved a life today. There were no real metal detectors in place at the school, Reed confirmed. Again, guys, are we noticing a pattern here within these schools where these stabbings or things are happening? I think until our society can start coming into reality here where I think what we have to come in down here is a lot of these things are happening because no people are actually are scanning things. They're not preparing for these people. And I hate to say it, but we're gonna go over to the people here that's been going on and kind of show you what's happening. So we have 2A American that says here, breaking, students pull out a knife during a school fight in VA, in Virginia. Student stabbed in a critical condition. Is this kid going to go get a GoFundMe and a move into a matching for attempted murder? So obviously, what we have here is obviously they didn't do the gunfight or whatever, what have you, with the situation, obviously, but look at this. Obviously, this person looks to be a bit mixed, a bit different here. It seems to be black in this instance, right? And yeah, I mean, guys, let's just put a $1.50 here. The fact of the matter is that these are serious things. This is very, very similar to what happened to Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony, to where this kid pulls out a knife during a fight and then just stabs somebody, right? And the kid gets life-threatening injuries. We have to start asking the questions onto why is this individual bringing a knife to a school? We have to start answering these questions here. This is like obviously recognized pattern recognition 101, right? Again, when I go to school, the last thing that I think of is to bring a knife to a school. And look at this, guys. This is a decent sized knife. This is not a a very small knife for that matter. It is a pretty okay sized knife. So it's not like a pocket knife to where like it's quite a bit larger than a pocket knife, or what have you. It doesn't seem reasonable to take a knife to a school, right? Taking any weapon to school. Granted, I know back in the day, people used to take their guns on their trucks or whatever to schools. It was a different time, different era. We have this here where this is just not the case. We're not living here. We're living in society uh where we can just be free for doing stuff like this. We have a problem in society here, and this is not just with black people either. We have a problem in the society with people just committing crimes and doing stuff like this. And the school didn't take precautions. They didn't have a metal detector, so this kid was just able to go with a pocket knife and stab somebody. It's crazy. We have this here again from the USA Today saying Virginia's teen stabbed during fight at Alexandria School, student to be charged. So again, we have this here where they say Fairfax County or what have you. Parents were frustrated about lack of communication from the district about the incident and confronted Fairfax Public Schools Superintendent Michelle Reed during the press conference. Why can't I check my daughter out? That's all I care about. A man identified by Washington as Bill Beal yelled at Reed during the press conference. Reed responded that the building was being secured and that the staff was assuring that students were able to access their lunch period. I don't care about lunch right now, Beal responded. That's not an acceptable answer. I 100% agree. I think that this is also something here that, guys, I have that my brother has dealt with when there was like a bombing situation. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when you go to public schools or what have you, and whatever, and you're in a more, I guess, crime-ridden type of place, you're going to have a bit more crazy things. I don't know about people in more wealthier counties or what have you, but when you are in these places, there are schools, and there are schools that are like this to where there's bomb threats, and schools have the ability to just lock down the entire school, and then parents don't have the ability to have access to their children, which is bloody wild, right? So again, my brother went into the school, and there was a bomb threat at this said school. He wanted to go get his daughter, and the school said, no, you can't go get her. He said, stop me, because he was pulling his daughter out of school, out of a dangerous situation. How schools have the ability to just say, oh, you can't go get your kid is bloody wild to me. This is very similar to what happened to the Uvalde situation, where parents were running to one to go get their kids, and cops were preventing from going and getting them and arresting the parents. This is wild. I think we need to reform schools in this scenario because this is crazy. Parents should have the ability to go risk their lives to go save their kids, or at the very least, if the school is to have it, the parents should be able to allow to go get their kids from their schools. Granted, in certain situations, this might not be the wisest idea, but if like I have to say, if the school is just saying, oh well, you can't do it to a lunch period, right? You can't have access to your kid or whatever. That's wild. No, 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 no. It's like I agree with the parent. I don't care about lunch. I don't care if it's dinner. I don't care even classes in session. I want my kid out of school, and the school should be able to comply. And if the school does not comply, there should be serious repercussions for the school not complying to a parent, because that should just never be the case here. And again, this is what we have. We have to have issue. We have these problems where one thing will be portrayed as another, and it's just a problem. Carmelo Anthony, this is very similar, and we have to see what happens here because this guy is probably not going to get a very good deal, but Carmelo Anthony's situation is different, right? And that's just all I kind of want to point out here: the hypocrisy, the hypocrisy of what's going on, and that's just insanity. So, guys, yeah, it's crazy out there. Be safe. That's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.